Right, we're with Greg of AJ Park. Greg, if you could just tell us a little bit about your role.
I'm the managing partner at AJ Park and also the head of the litigation team.
Greg, I'm just wondering if you could maybe give me your thoughts and views on maybe some of the IP trends that you're seeing at the moment.
We're seeing clients and businesses all around the world becoming far more IP focused, far more developing new inventions, new technology so they can get IP protection for it. I mean, it's interesting, and you see in the United States now, they're negotiating free trade agreements with all sorts of countries, and their primary goal is to get top level intellectual property protection in those free trade agreements.
Do you think the government is putting enough money into this area? Do you think they have a strong enough focus on IP and related initiatives?
Well, the government's showing a lot of interest in intellectual property. They've rearranged the Ministry of Science. They're going through a new patents bill. Whether it has enough interest, I'm not sure. I think behind the scenes the government's very interested, but it's got no public interest. So governments have to be aware of public interest. So I don't think it's at the top of their priority, particularly in an election year.
What do you think some of the hurdles facing New Zealand business going forward? Is it about money, or is it about their appreciation for the sort of work that companies like yourself do?
Well, I think it's always about money in the sense you've got to have enough money to fund the research. But I think New Zealand businesses, certainly big businesses, have got a real focus on research now and a real focus on intellectual property. Medium-sized and small-sized business, as we learned in some of the speaking this morning, are not investing anything in research. I think they've got a long-term problem if they want to grow. Unless they start investing in research, they won't be able to grow.
So yeah, there have been quite a diverse range of businesses here this morning. Anything else that you've learnt or had some time to think about in terms of what you've picked up from them today?
Yeah, well, it's a pretty select group, of course, because the businesses that are here are all interested in intellectual property. But it was interesting, one of the presentations this morning said that New Zealand businesses weren't investing enough in research. And I think that's probably true across the board, but it's certainly not true of the businesses that are here. All the businesses that are here are putting a huge amount of their budget into research and into protecting it by intellectual property. And I think that's great to see. I mean, these are the business leaders in New Zealand, and that's what they're doing.
So really it is positive, there is a stronger focus and things look generally pretty good moving forward the next few years?
I think in terms of the New Zealand economy, I think that people are going to become more focused on research, and they're going to realise that you've got to have investment in areas that get a high return per employee, and that's why some of the discussion about tourism is interesting. It's not producing a high return per employee, and therefore it's not going to grow the national wealth, whereas the investment in other areas, including agriculture interestingly, is going to produce that high return.
That's a fantastic point. Greg from AJ Park, thank you very much.
Thank you.